Is Google losing market share? Is from Rand Fishkin, an SEO leader, the founder of Moz. I love Moz's software. And Rand's Whiteboard Fridays, his articles. Rand is a legendary figure. So he says, a recent Wall Street Journal article made the top feeds in the digital marketing world, claiming that Google is on the precipice of losing the lead in search advertising wars. Supposedly, in 2025, for the first time, Google may fall under 50% of market share in search advertising. This is according to eMarketer, which the Wall Street Journal cites. The Wall Street Journal points to three factors: the rise of TikTok, the growth of AI search engines, Perplexity is prominently mentioned, and the antitrust pressure Google faces in their monopoly trial. But on the investigation of data, all of these are wrong, and digital marketers should be wary of being misled by hypothetical causes versus what is really going on. So I'm actually going to read the end of Rand's article before getting into the details. If you just want to know, is search dying? Is Google dying? According to the Wall Street Journal, if you read the headline, and lots of people, they only read the headlines, it would look that way. It would look like it's dying. But this is what Rand Fishkin says. This is more of a non-story. But I think this is why media literacy and data literacy is so important. Because if you just see the Wall Street Journal's headline in your feed, you're going to think to yourself, oh man, is Google dying? Are they losing search market share? And that's why it pays to interrogate these articles and ask questions as to what is really happening. So what is really happening? This is what I'm going to explain to you on this episode of the podcast. This is what is really happening. By the way, if you want the source for this, it will be linked to in the description for this episode. And shout out to Rand Fishkin. I even added Rand so he would see that I'm making this and he liked it and he did some great coverage on this. So it turns out search advertising is still growing, not declining. And by search advertising, we're talking about bidding on keywords, and it's on Google and Bing. Now, again, the Wall Street Journal article, it made the case that ChatGPT, Perplexity, TikTok, they're taking market share and a lot of advertising revenue away from Google. But that is not the case. 2024 research from the Winterberry Group shows that search is still growing. So this isn't the cause. How about search market share? Is search market share in jeopardy? Datos did a big study back in spring, search engine market share in the US, and there is no decline at all. StatCounter confirms the same thing. Google is basically as strong as it's ever been. 88% market share in the United States and more than 90% globally. Okay, so Google's market share isn't declining like the Wall Street Journal says. Google stock did take a bit of a beating, but so did all the major tech stocks and the S&P 500 overall. So that's not it either. And this isn't just people saying, oh no, lots of people still use search and it's all anecdotal. This is data-based. Lots of studies here suggest the Wall Street Journal is wrong. Okay, but are lots of users switching to AI search engines? I made a podcast about Search GPT before, which is ChatGPT's search engine. So here are the stats. This is from May 2023 to August 2024, and this is from Datos. 17% as of the most recent study, August 2024, are using AI services, but 99% of these people also use Google. And actually, on average, users are searching Google 200 times per month, and this is up from last year. So this suggests Google's search advertising business should be stronger, not weaker. The graph shows some up and down declines, but this is all seasonality, which is typical. So it's not this. And the Wall Street Journal is really calling TikTok a threat. Perplexity as well. But Perplexity's searches pale in comparison to Google's, as does TikTok's. These platforms are growing, but not by a hugely meaningful amount, according to these studies. Now, I heard Gary Vaynerchuk say, he said, oh, I watch how the Gen Z people I know use TikTok, and they don't even use Google. They just search on TikTok. I find that very hard to be true, and so does the data. So why is the Wall Street Journal spreading so much FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt about Google search? All right, so search ad revenue share for Google was actually down in 2024. In 2023, it was 53.9%. In 2024, it was 51.9%. But this is mostly due actually to Amazon growing a little bit. Amazon is up in 2024 In 2023, it was 22.5%. In 2024, it was 24%. And in fact, this Wall Street Journal article, barely says anything about Amazon. And Amazon's search advertising is growing faster than Google's is growing, but also that's because Google is the biggest one, and Google has less growth to see than Amazon would. Amazon's searches aren't increasing a tremendous amount, but they are selling more ads. And there's this other bucket that has grown as well, but it's not TikTok and AI. It's Walmart, Instacart, Spotify. TikTok is here, but it's one of many players. Walmart is bigger, Instacart is bigger, Spotify is almost as big. There's Apple, Hulu, Microsoft, Meta. And so these companies have more search advertising than they previously did. But it's just like nipping away at Google. It is very little, nothing hugely substantial. So I want to wrap up again with what I said at the beginning of this episode. This is why media literacy and data literacy is so important. Because if you just see the Wall Street Journal's headline in your feed, you're going to think to yourself, oh man, is Google dying? Are they losing market share? And that is not what is going on. And the data shows all of this. So if you've been worried that TikTok, ChatGPT, Perplexity, these are going to take away your traffic, actually the real threat is Reddit and UGC platforms, which are consistently ranking above small blogs for top of funnel content. Now, if you still want to protect against TikTok and Perplexity and ChatGPT, bottom of funnel keywords, if you go after these with a personal site, a lot of the time, you will actually see ChatGPT picking up the copy you wrote because these keywords are so frequently overlooked. Not many people target them. Same with Reddit. Not many people use these keywords on Reddit. So these keywords can actually be used on Reddit, and you can have a company mentioned. This is parasite SEO, so it's black hat. It's against the rules. This is what people are doing. They're having their company mentioned on Reddit and Quora with bottom of funnel keywords, which are very easy to rank for. People see the company name. There's no backlink, so it's easier to get a post through, and then people search the company. Or it can just be done on a website because bottom of funnel keywords are so non-competitive, but the conversion rates are super high. It's bottom of funnel. They're at the bottom of the funnel. If you want to learn more about bottom of funnel keywords, I have a free article. It's called Down the Funnel on edwardsturm.com. You can search Edward Sturm Down the Funnel. I'll have it linked here too. And I have my Pareto SEO article, which is linked in the description for this episode. That is a free article too. No, you don't have to give an email to read it. It's the 20% of things in SEO that make 80% of the difference. And bottom of funnel keywords work super well on TikTok, Amazon, lots of other places. So to answer, the Wall Street Journal, is Google losing search market share? Not really. And that is all for episode 461 of The Edward Show. This is my daily digital marketing podcast that I do 7 days a week, even when I'm sitting in a lovely hotel lobby bar with a nice cup of mint tea by my side, feeling so good on this beautiful afternoon. I hope you are feeling good too. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.